A native of Fairborn, Ohio, Gary Mathern was drawn to Morehead State University because of his desire to learn on a small campus with an individualized learning environment.
And in figuring out where to go to school, one of my friends had heard about Morehead. And so a couple of us gathered up and came down here for a weekend. We were both impressed by the size and moreover by the apparent ability and evidence that the students seemed to have a more personalized relationship with their faculty.
After graduation from MSU in 1978, Mathern attended medical school at Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland. Mathern admits that the experience he received at MSU set him on a path to become much more than just a world-renowned pediatric neurosurgeon.
Well, it was the preparation. I went on after MSU to go on and get a graduate degree in medicine and then go on. But the lessons this was the place of the undergraduate liberal arts experience, learning how to be a member of the world. And that's what its purpose was, and that's what it did. So it was a great location. It was the right one for me.
After medical school, he interned at the Cleveland Clinic and served as an emergency room physician before moving to California. His neurosurgery residency was completed at UCLA, where he later became a faculty member. Mathern credits the mentors he had at MSU with providing him the educational foundation he needed to become a lifelong learner and educator.
Is Elizabeth Gurley. She was a professor of philosophy in a very small department. And she was not afraid to talk about things that were non-traditional and be more open-minded. So she was the one that kind of led a lot of intellectual stimulation in my education and got you to say that life is not just what you do. You are a whole person. You have to be able, your profession, and you have to be more than that. When I was going to college, it was like, well, is this it? And I said, no, I need more of a challenge. And so medicine became then the next challenge. And then once in medical school, I kind of said, well, is this it? And then as I probed the different fields, I fell in love with brain surgery. So of all the fields to get into, what's one of the hardest ones to have to work in? Brain surgery. Okay? But if that's what gets you up in the morning, that's what you're going to do.
Mathern's work in pediatric neurosurgery has garnered a great deal of media attention. His work has been featured on national as well as international television news outlets.
My specialty is I take care of children who have seizures not controlled by medicine, but whose seizures may be able to be controlled if you take out the part of the brain that's causing the seizures. Some of these operations can be very, very big. One of my more popular ones I'm known for is taking out half a kid's brain, the right side, the left side, whichever side. And if you can stop their seizures, then you can turn their life around and give them a life which they may not have had before. And to see the impact in taking what would have been, these kids, when they were having the seizures, if you didn't get controlled, they had a very high probability of never developing a normal IQ and normal living. To be able to stop that process and let them go on and have as near a normal life as they can is something that gives you a great deal of personal satisfaction.
Mathern has received continuous research funding from the National Institute of Health since 1993. As an academic physician scientist, he has not only performed highly intense pediatric neurosurgeries, he has also studied the brain tissue to better understand the basic mechanisms that cause seizures and the consequences those seizures have on the human brain. He attributes his experiences at MSU with the foundation he needed to become successful in research.
In the sciences, I worked with a professor, Ted Pass, who was then the head of did all the microbiology. And in taking his class, he was the one that suggested to a group of us as students about whether we might be interested in doing a research project to study something that was related to infectious disease, in this case a fungus endemic in this state called Histoplasma capsulatum, and the exposure it might give to individuals. And we met, we put together a proposal and submitted it to the National Science Foundation, and it got funded.
He has been a leader in the world of pediatric epilepsy, serving in roles with the American Epilepsy Society and the International League Against Epilepsy. He has also assisted with the establishment of epilepsy surgery centers in Brazil, Chile, and China. Mathern strives to be an advocate in the field and encourages current students to step outside of their comfort zone to make a difference.
It doesn't matter where you come from, okay? What matters is your drive, effort, and ability to learn and to evolve with what needs to be done. So there is no glass ceiling, there is no ceiling, there is only opportunity. And you make that opportunity. And that's what you need, don't be afraid. Take risks. Sometimes the risks will succeed, sometimes they will not, but don't be afraid to try.
Mathern admits that he has only been back to campus one time since graduation, but he has never forgotten the impact MSU had on his professional and personal development. Being inducted into the MSU Alumni Hall of Fame comes as a true honor.
The most important recognition is peer review, peer recognition. So when you are recognized by your peers, and by, in this case, your alumni and your school, there is no higher form of flattery than that. And so I see this as a metric of that kind of accolade.